Joy, coming to you on a rainy Sunday afternoon, Jacksonville, North Carolina. Desire to share an experience I had recently that might bless you too. The subject would be the joy of the Lord. I have some scriptures about that, and then I'll tell you my experience. There's a scripture in Psalms, I think it's 16:11, that says, let me read it. Psalm 16:11, Thou wilt make known to me the path of life. In thy presence is the fullness of joy, and at thy right hand are pleasures forever. There's a difference between knowing God and knowing about God. There's a difference between being academically aware of Scripture and having a relationship with Jesus. And I've been in this since 1974. In my very beginnings, I remember having joy that was inexplainable, and it was awesome. And then through the years, kind of waned, but I always knew that that God is the Spirit, and the fruit of the Spirit is joy. The fruit of the Spirit is many things, but joy is one of them that I never thought that much about, yet it's so important. In my life, joy's been a major blessing. But I had an experience the other day. I'm not sure why, but except it was just a gift. Just a moment that was such a blessing to me, I just had to share it. I had been praying about getting closer to the Lord and thinking about my early days in the Lord, how the Lord guided me when I didn't know anything, and maybe that was a catalyst for it. But after a couple of days of seeking the Lord like that, just in a private time, I was doing nothing spiritual. I was sitting on the couch, TV was on, and all of a sudden, I had the most incredible sense of joy, of the joy of God's presence. And I was thinking, there are no words to explain to you what I felt. All I can say is, God was present. It was the most beautiful. I have to say because joy, if the fruit of the Spirit is joy, and the Spirit is God, then God is joy. He gives joy, but just like God is love, He is also joy. In His presence is the fullness of joy, and at His right hand are pleasures forever. What an awesome scripture, but it is a reality. In God's presence, there's the fullness of joy, and just for a few moments in my life, God revealed it to me. There's no other way you can know this. And so I started thinking, I understand why people went to their martyrdom for Jesus, because He is so awesome. And you know about Him, but when you are in His presence, it's a whole different thing. So I'm thinking, okay, how can I be in His presence more like this? Because I know He's with me. I'm not saying He's not with me. But for some reason, He can reveal things like that to you. And so I was thinking about a scripture in John where Jesus told His disciples that if they obeyed His commands, that He and His Father would disclose themselves to them, and that they would dwell with them. And so I'm thinking, what could be wrong to hinder more of that? And it's just the grace of God for sure that He would reveal that to me, and just to bring me back to the reality of who Jesus is and why we should all want to follow Him. But at His right hand are pleasures. At His right hand are pleasures forever. In His presence is the fullness of joy. And I pray that you will find that joy in Jesus too. Thank you for watching.